I don't think you're a good fit here. The words hang in the air, cold, final. I sit across from him. Dexter Walsh, my new boss, 2 weeks in the role, already deciding, I don't belong. Can you elaborate? I ask, voice steady. Even though my heart is pounding, he leans back, fingers steepled like he's being thoughtful, generous with his time. It's about culture, you don't seem to align with how we do things. What specifically? You're too cautious, too detail-oriented. We need people who move fast, who don't question every decision. I question decisions, because half of them are wrong. But I don't say that, not yet. I see. I'm giving you 2 weeks to show significant improvement or will need to part ways. 2 weeks to change who I am or leave the company I own. He doesn't know, that part doesn't know. I'm not just Harper Quinn, project manager. I'm Harper Quinn, 52% owner, majority shareholder, his actual boss. I let the silence stretch, then nod. I understand. Good, I'm glad we could have this conversation. Honestly, he thinks this is honest. He has no idea what honesty looks like. Yet, I stand, leave his office, walk back to my desk, and I think about my father, about what he built, about what I'm watching Dexter destroy. 2 weeks to improve, or else. I almost smile, because he doesn't realize the countdown isn't for me. It's for him. My name is Harper Quinn. I'm 30 years old, project manager at Quinn Consulting, technology consulting firm. My father's company, he founded it 20 years ago, built it from nothing to 40 million annual revenue, died suddenly, last year, heart attack, left everything. To me, 52% ownership through a trust, the rest split between early investors and key employees. But I control the majority, the final vote. The company, the board advised against announcing my ownership immediately. Work inside first, they said. Understand the business. See how things run. Then decide how to lead. I agreed, because I needed to know what my father really built, not the image he showed me, but the reality. So I took a role, project manager, entry to mid-level, nobody important, nobody powerful, just Harper, working, learning, observing. Then Dexter arrived 3 months ago, hired as VP of Operations by the board. While I was still observing, he came from a competitor. Big promises, big credentials, big ego. Within weeks, he started changing things. Processes, people, culture, all without understanding what made the company work, what my father built, what matters to the clients, to the team, to the legacy. Now he's deciding I'm not a good fit for the company I own, and I'm letting him for now, because I need to see how far he'll go, what he'll destroy, who he'll hurt before I stop him. 2 weeks. He said to improve or leave. I'll give him 2 weeks to prove he's the one who doesn't belong. After the meeting, I sit at my desk. Processing. You're not a good fit. Translation. You don't obey blindly, don't execute without questions, don't make him look good. I've been here 6 months, observing the first 3. Before Dexter, the company was healthy, stable, profitable, good morale, strong client, relationships, solid processes, everything my father built. Then Dexter arrived and everything changed. Faster decisions, less review, more risk, different priorities, move fast, break things. That's his philosophy, repeated constantly in meetings and emails and casual conversations. Move fast, break things, except what we're breaking are client relationships, employee trust, quality standards, everything that made the company work. And nobody stops him because he's VP of Operations, senior leadership, board approved, confident, convincing, credible on paper. But I've been watching, documenting, seeing the damage. He doesn't know I'm recording every mistake, every shortcut, every broken process, every lost client, not for revenge, for evidence, for when the board needs to see what I've been seeing for months. 2 weeks to improve. I won't improve. I'll just keep documenting, keep observing, keep waiting for the right moment to reveal everything, including who I really am. I tell no one about the meeting, not my colleague, Simone, not my friend. Outside work, not the board, not yet. I just continue working normally, like nothing happened, like I'm not on notice, like I'm not counting down to termination or revelation, whichever comes first. Simone notices something. You okay? Yeah, why? You seem quiet, just focused. She nods, but doesn't quite believe me. We've worked together 4 months since I started. She's good, really good at her job, but nervous around Dexter like everyone is. He has that effect. Makes people uncertain, second-guess themselves, defer to him, even when he's wrong, which is often. I watch a client meeting. Dexter presents a solution, fast, confident, wrong. The client looks uncertain. Are you sure that approach will work? Absolutely, trust me. The client doesn't look convinced, but nods, accepts it because Dexter is confident, and confidence sells. Even when it's misplaced, I know the solution won't work. Know the client will be back in 2 weeks. Angry, disappointed, demanding fixes. But I don't. Speak up, don't correct. Dexter, don't save him from himself. I'm done saving him. Now I'm documenting his failures for when they matter most. The pattern becomes clear. Over the next days, Dexter's approach to leadership is simple. Fast decisions, no debate, complete authority. Anyone who questions gets marginalized, dismissed, eventually pushed out. I'm not the first he's targeted. There was Omar, senior developer, 10 years experience, questioned a technical decision Dexter made. You're being negative. Omar tried to explain. I'm being accurate. We need positive team players. Omar left. 2 weeks later. Mutual decision, they said. It wasn't. There was. Priya, account manager, pushed back on a client commitment Dexter made without checking resources. We can't deliver that timeline. We can if you work harder. She tried, failed, because the timeline was impossible. Dexter blamed her for poor performance. She left. Last month. The pattern is clear. Question Dexter, get pushed out, and now it's my turn because I question things, verify details, do my job properly, instead of just executing whatever. Dexter says, without thinking, without reviewing, without checking if it's actually right. I spend the weekend reviewing everything, every project Dexter touched, every decision he made, every change he implemented. The results are concerning. 3 clients lost in 3 months, all citing quality concerns, communication issues, unmet expectations. Employee turnover, up 40%. Since Dexter arrived, project delays, increasing, budget overruns, more common, all trends moving, wrong direction, all starting when Dexter took over. Operations, I compile a report, detailed, documented, factual, not for Dexter, for the board, for when I need to show them what's happening under their chosen VP. I also review my father's notes from before he died, his vision for the company, quality over speed, clients over profits, people over processes, everything Dexter is destroying. I think about what my father would do if he saw this, saw Dexter dismantling everything he built. He'd act decisively, but carefully, with evidence, not emotion. That's what I'll do. 2 weeks Dexter gave me to improve. I'll use 2 weeks to gather everything I need to remove him permanently, professionally, justly. Monday morning, week 1 of my improvement period. Dexter assigns me a project, client presentation, due Friday. Let's see if you can deliver without overthinking. Translation, do it my way, without questions, without review, without quality. I take the assignment, start working properly, thoroughly, carefully, the way projects should be done. Dexter checks in Wednesday. How's it going? On track. Let me see. I show my work, detailed analysis, risk assessment, multiple options, recommendations. He frowns. This is too much. It's thorough. It's overthinking. The client doesn't need all this. The client needs accurate information to make decisions. The client needs confidence, not options. They need both. He says, like I'm a problem student. This is exactly what I mean about fit. You don't understand how we operate now. I understand how we operated successfully for 20 years. His eyes narrow. That's the past. This is the future. The future is losing clients. Excuse me, I shouldn't have said that, but I'm tired of pretending I don't see the damage. Nothing. No, you said we're losing clients. The data shows. The data shows we're growing. Revenue is growing. Client retention is declining. Who told you that? I analyzed the numbers. He looks at me like I've crossed a line. That's not your job. Understanding the business is everyone's job. Your job is executing projects, not analyzing company performance. My job is delivering quality work. Your job is whatever I say it is. There it is, the truth behind all the corporate speak. Obey me or leave. Friday, I deliver the presentation to the client. My version, thorough, detailed, professional. The client loves it. This is exactly what we needed. Clear options, honest assessment, real recommendations. Dexter sits beside me, forced to smile while the client praises my work. After, in the car, he's silent, angry. Finally, you went over my head. I delivered what you asked for. I asked for simple. You gave complicated. I gave complete. You undermined me. I served the client. The client isn't your boss. I am. I turn, look at him directly. The client is everyone's boss. His jaw tightens. You're making this very difficult. I'm doing My job, your job, is supporting my vision. My job is supporting the company. I am the company. And there it is, the real problem. Dexter thinks he is the company, that his vision, his decisions, his authority matter more than clients, than employees, than the 20 years my father spent building something real. You're not, I say, quietly, firmly. What? You're not the company. You're just working here, like me. I'm VP of Operations, and I'm a project manager. We're both employees. Not for long, he says. Excuse me? Your 2 weeks are almost up, and I haven't seen improvement. I delivered a successful project. The client was thrilled. You didn't follow my direction. I delivered results. Results aren't everything. In what universe are results not everything? Monday, week 2 of my termination. Countdown. Dexter calls me to his office. We need to talk. I sit calmly, prepared. Your performance hasn't improved. The client disagrees. The client isn't evaluating your fit here. What is fit exactly? Cultural alignment. Team player following direction. I'm aligned with quality, client service, company values. My values are the company values. Now, are they? He pauses. What does that mean? It means you've been here 3 months. The company existed 20 years before you. And it needed updating, modernizing. That's why I was hired. Who hired you? The board. And do they know how many clients we've lost? We haven't lost clients. We've strategically moved on from difficult relationships. Translation: we failed them and they left. 3 clients in 3 months is strategic. How do you know that? I pay attention. You're overstepping your role. I'm doing my job. Your job is ending Friday. There it is, official. Final Friday, 4 days to either accept termination or reveal who I really am. You're firing me. I'm ending employment due to cultural misalignment. Without cause? With cause. You don't fit. Legal language carefully chosen to avoid wrongful termination claims. I see. You can work through Friday or leave today, your choice. I'll stay through Friday. Fine, but no client contact, no project work, just transition documentation. Sideline me until I'm gone. That's the plan. Understood. I leave his office, walk to my desk, and I make a call to the board chair, Vernon Price. We need to meet. Vernon meets me that evening. Coffee shop, offsite, private. What's wrong? Dexter is firing me Friday. On what grounds? Cultural fit. Vernon frowns. That's problematic. It's also premature. Meaning, I haven't finished observing. Vernon understands. He knows who I am, what I own, why I'm really here. What have you seen? I hand him my report. Everything I've documented: client losses, employee turnover, project delays, budget overruns, all since Dexter arrived. He reads carefully, thoroughly. His expression darkens. I didn't realize. Nobody did, because Dexter controls the narrative. This is serious. It's destroying what my father built. Vernon nods. What do you want to do? I want to stop him before more damage happens. How? Announce my ownership, take active control, remove Dexter. That's significant. So is what he's doing. Vernon thinks. Long moment. Finally, the board will support you, but you need to present this officially. When? Thursday. Emergency. Board meeting. You present your findings, your recommendation. And Dexter? We'll invite him to respond, then vote on whether he stays or goes. 2 days. Thursday. Before my Friday termination, I'll reveal everything, not just to Dexter, to everyone. I'll be ready. Tuesday. Dexter avoids me completely. No meetings, no emails, no contact. I'm already gone, in his mind, just waiting for Friday to make it official. I spend the day preparing my presentation. For Thursday, everything documented, organized, professional, not emotional, not personal, just facts, numbers, patterns, evidence of Dexter's impact on the company. I also review the company charter, my father's trust documents, my ownership rights, making sure I understand my authority, my options, my power. I own 52%. The board can advise, but ultimately I decide who leads, how we operate, what matters. It's time to use that power to save what my father built from someone who thinks speed matters more than quality, authority matters more than results, his vision matters more than the company's survival. Simone stops by my desk. I heard you're leaving. News travels fast. Where did you hear that? Dexter mentioned in a meeting that your last day is Friday. Did he? Is it true? I pause. Come to the board meeting Thursday. I'm not invited to board meetings. You will be, this time. She looks confused but nods. Okay. I'm bringing witnesses, people who experienced Dexter's leadership, people who can confirm what I've documented. This isn't just my word against his. This is Evidence, patterns, truth. Wednesday, my last full day. Before the board meeting, before the reveal, before everything changes. I walk the office, observing. One last time as Harper Quinn, project manager, nobody important. Tomorrow, I'll be Harper Quinn. Majority owner, CEO, probably everything different. I watch. People work. Stressed, uncertain, careful. Not because the work is hard, but because the environment is toxic. Dexter created this in 3 months. Imagine, 3 years. The company would be unrecognizable, destroyed. Not dramatically, just slowly, eroded, until nothing of my father's vision remains. I can't let that happen. Won't let that happen. Dexter sends an email, company-wide. As you may have heard, Harper Quinn's last day is Friday. We wish her well in her future endeavors. Making it official, public. Before I can classic, Dexter control the narrative, shape the story, make himself the decision maker, the authority, the one in it. I reply, just to him, see you at the board meeting tomorrow. He responds, what board meeting? Check your calendar. 5 minutes later, he storms to my desk. What's this about? Emergency board meeting Thursday, 2 p.m. About what? Operational performance. His face changes. Who called this meeting? I did. You don't have authority to call board meetings. Actually, I do. You're a project manager. Tomorrow, you'll learn I'm more than that. What does that mean? You'll see. Thursday, he wants to push, to demand, to control. But he can't, because the meeting is happening, whether he likes it or not. And somewhere deep down he's starting to suspect something is wrong with his perfect plan. Thursday, 2 p.m., boardroom, full board. Present, Vernon Price, board chair, 4 other board members, including 2 who worked with my father, Dexter. At the table, confident but wary, I enter last, take my seat, not at the end, at the head of the table. Dexter frowns. Why is she sitting there? Vernon speaks. Because she's a project manager. Actually, Vernon says, she's the majority owner. Silence, complete, total. Dexter's face goes white. What? Harper Quinn owns 52% company through a trust established by her father. That's impossible. It's documented, legal, binding. Vernon slides papers across the table, trust documents, ownership certificates, stock records, everything. Legal, official, undeniable. Dexter reads, frantically. Why wasn't I told? Because I say, I wanted to observe the company before announcing my position. Observe? Yes, see how things really work before deciding how to lead. This is ridiculous. What's ridiculous is that you're firing the owner of the company. That lands hard. The board shifts, uncomfortable. Dexter tries to recover. I didn't know, obviously. If I'd known, you would have treated me differently. That's the problem. What problem? That you only respect people based on title, not performance. That's not. I open my laptop, project my report on the screen. Let's review your 3 months here. I present methodically, calmly every piece of evidence. Client losses, 3 major clients lost, all citing quality communication issues. Employee turnover, 40% increase in departures since you arrived. Project performance, delays up 25%, budget overruns up 30%. Dexter tries to interrupt. Those are misleading. Vernon stops him. Let her finish. I continue. Decision-making, multiple instances of commitments made without verification leading to failed deliverables. Process changes eliminated quality reviews to move faster, resulting in more errors. Team morale, anonymous survey shows 70% of employees feel undervalued, unheard. I show emails, exit interviews, client complaints, project reports, everything. Documented, factual, undeniable. The board takes notes, asks questions, reviews documents. Dexter sits silent now, realizing how much I know, how thoroughly I documented, how completely I prepared. In summary, I say, Dexter's approach has prioritized speed over quality, authority over collaboration, his vision over company values. That's your opinion. It's data. I show. One more slide. 20-year trends. Under my father, steady growth, high retention, strong reputation. 3 months under Dexter, sharp decline in everything that matters. The question for this board is simple. Do we continue on this path, or do we return to what made this company successful? Vernon looks at Dexter. Do you have a response? Dexter tries to defend himself. These changes take time. You can't judge 3 months, I respond. My father built this. In 20 years, you've damaged it in 3 months. Damaged? We're growing. Revenue is growing. Everything else is declining. Short-term, paying for long-term gain. What gain? He doesn't have an answer. just vague promises, future success. Trust the process. The board isn't buying it. One member speaks. Why did you decide to terminate Harper? Dexter shifts. Cultural fit she didn't align with. New direction. What new direction? Faster decision-making, less bureaucracy. Translation, I say. Less oversight, less quality control, less accountability. That's not fair. It's accurate. Another board member. Did you know about the client losses? Dexter hesitates. Some clients weren't aligned with our new approach. So you knew and didn't report it? I reported it as strategic realignment. You lied. I framed it appropriately. The board exchanges glances. Not good. For Dexter, Vernon speaks. Harper, what's your recommendation? This is the moment, the choice. I could be merciful, give Dexter a chance to adjust, to improve, to stay. Or I could protect the company, the employees, the legacy. My father left me. I choose the company. I recommend immediate termination of Dexter Walsh for cause. Dexter stands. You can't do this. Vernon responds. She owns 52%. She can do exactly this. This is personal. This is business, I say, based on your performance, your decisions, your impact. The board hired me, and the owner is firing you. The vote is quick, unanimous. Dexter Walsh terminated, effective, immediately, for cause, poor performance, dishonest reporting, cultural damage. He tries to argue, to fight, to negotiate, but it's over. The decision is made. Final, binding. You'll hear from my lawyer. You're welcome to try, Vernon says, but the documentation is thorough. Dexter looks at me, angry, betrayed, like I'm the villain, not him. You planned this from the beginning. I planned to observe. You made this necessary. By doing my job, by doing it poorly. He leaves, finally, escorted by security, office cleared, access revoked, same treatment he gave others. Omar, Priya, me almost. The room is quiet after he's gone. Vernon speaks. Harper, what's next? I'll take over operations, temporarily until we find the right person. And long-term, I'll stay active in the business, not as project manager, as owner. The board nods, approving, supporting. Your father would be proud, Vernon says. I'm not sure about that, but I'm sure he'd want the company protected from people like Dexter, who value authority over competence, speed over quality, ego over results, and I protected it. Finally, Friday. My original last day, according to Dexter. Instead, it's his last day and my first day as public owner. I call all hands meeting. Everyone attends, curious, confused, concerned about what's happening. I stand at the front of the room where Dexter used to stand. I'm sure you've heard Dexter is no longer with the company. Murmurs, nods, relief on some faces. I want to explain what happened and what's next. I tell them who I am, what I own, why I was really here. The room is silent, shocked. Processing. I worked as project manager to understand the company from inside, to see what works, what doesn't, and what I saw under Dexter's leadership was concerning. I outlined the issues, not to embarrass anyone but to be honest about why change was necessary. Going forward, we'll return to our core values: quality over speed, clients over profits, people over processes. My father built this company on those principles, and they still matter. The room relaxes, visibly. People believed Dexter's way was permanent, that they'd have to adapt or leave. Now they know they can stay, be themselves, do good work without fear. Simone raises her hand. What about people who left because of Dexter? We'll reach out, invite them back if they're interested, and current projects. We'll review every commitment, make sure we can deliver quality. If not, we'll be honest with clients, reset expectations. Truth over promises, reality over spin, quality over speed, everything. My father taught me everything Dexter tried to destroy. The transition takes weeks. I move into the CEO office, small at first, then officially the board appoints me CEO unanimously. I hire a new VP operations, someone careful, thoughtful, experienced, not flashy, not fast, just good. We contact the lost clients, apologize honestly for failures, invite them back to return immediately. One waits to see if we've really changed. Fair. We reach out to former employees. Omar returns. Thrilled, Priya considers, eventually accepts. The team rebuilds, slowly, carefully. The culture shifts from fear to trust, from speed to quality, from authority to collaboration. It's not perfect, not immediately, but it's better, noticeably, measurably better. After 3 months, the metrics improve, employee satisfaction up, client retention up, project quality up. Everything Dexter broke starting to heal. I think about him sometimes, about the moment he realized I wasn't just a project manager. The shock, the anger, the betrayal. he felt. But mostly I think about my father, about what he built, what he trusted me with. And I'm grateful. I was able to save it before too late. 6 months later, the company is stable, growing, healthy, everything trending right direction. I'm settled in the CEO role, not perfectly but competently, learning every day, making mistakes but fixing them honestly, openly. The team trusts me because I trusted them first. Listened when Dexter talked, asked questions when Dexter gave orders, admitted when I didn't know something, instead of pretending I did. The clients return because we deliver what we promise, quality work on time, with communication, with honesty, with partnership. The employees stay because they feel valued, heard, respected. Not just by me, but by the culture we're building together. I get an email from Dexter, first one since he left. I hope you're happy with what you've done. I don't respond because I am happy, not with destroying his career, but with saving my father's company. There's a difference. Dexter thought he was the company, that his vision, his authority, his way mattered most. He was wrong. The company is bigger than any one person, even me. It's the people, the clients, the work, the legacy. And my job isn't to control it, it's to protect it, to nurture it, to help it grow into what it's meant to be. That's what leadership really means, not authority, service. I think about the moment Dexter told me I wasn't a good fit, how certain he was, how wrong he was. The irony is perfect. He said I didn't align with how we do things, but we wasn't him. It was the company. My father built the values that matter, the culture that works. I aligned perfectly with that. Dexter didn't. He just didn't realize until too late that his authority was temporary, his vision was flawed, his certainty was misplaced. I learned something important through this, that observing is powerful, that patience matters, that evidence beats authority every time. Dexter could have fired me if I'd announced my ownership immediately. He would have known to be careful, to perform better, to hide his failures, but because I waited, watched, documented, I saw the truth, not the performance. And truth is what matters in business, in leadership, in life. My father knew that. That's why he built this company on honesty, quality, service, and that's why it survives even after he's gone. Because the foundation is solid, the values are real, the culture is strong. Dexter tried to change that. In 3 months, he failed because you can't replace 20 years of good work with 3 months of fast decisions. You can't replace trust with authority. You can't replace quality with speed. He learned that the hard way. People ask if I regret it, the deception, the observation, the waiting. I don't, because it gave me what I needed, truth. Not just about Dexter, about the company, about myself. I learned I could lead, not just in title, but in practice. I learned people respect competence, not just authority. I learned that listening is more powerful than talking. All lessons I needed before becoming CEO, before taking control, before leading my father's company. If I'd announced ownership on day one, I would have led from ego, from assumption, from theory. Instead, I led from experience, from observation, from truth. And that made all the difference. Dexter led from ego, from assumption, from authority, and it destroyed him, not me. His own arrogance, his own impatience, his own certainty. Knew better than everyone, including the owner. He didn't know was the owner. That's the part that still makes me smile. Not cruelly, just ironically. He fired his boss without knowing it and paid the price for that mistake. The company continues growing, not explosively, but steadily, sustainably. The way my father built it. We win new clients through reputation, not promises. We keep good employees through culture, not perks. We deliver quality work through process, not shortcuts. Everything Dexter tried to eliminate is what makes us successful, and I'm grateful I saw that before it was too late. I sometimes wonder what would have happened if I'd let him fire me, if I'd waited longer to reveal my ownership. The company would have continued declining, more clients lost, more employees gone, more damage done. Eventually, the board would have acted, but maybe not soon enough to save what matters, the culture, the reputation, the legacy. My father left me, so I'm glad I acted when I did. Not too early to see the truth, not too late to stop an inch, just right to protect what matters most. Today I walk the office, different than 6 months ago. Then I was observing, documenting, hiding. Now I'm leading, openly, honestly. People greet me, "Morning Harper, how are you? Can I ask about?" Not fearfully, not carefully, just normally. Like I'm a person, not an authority. That's what I wanted, what my father had: respect, without fear, authority, without distance, leadership, without ego. Dexter wanted the opposite: feared, obeyed, unquestioned, and it made him weak, not strong, because nobody told him the truth. Nobody challenged his ideas. Nobody saved him from mistakes. I want people to tell me the truth, to challenge my ideas, to save me from mistakes, because that's how we get better together, not through authority, through collaboration. Simone stops by my office. Got a minute? Always. She shares an idea for improving client communication. It's good. Really good. Let's do it. Really? Why not? I just thought you might want to. Think about it. I trust your judgment. She smiles, leaves, energized. That's what good leadership looks like: trust, empowerment, support, not controllerty, not ego. Dexter never learned that, and it cost him everything. I receive an invitation: industry conference, speaker request, leadership in transition. They want me to talk about taking over my father's company. I accept. The conference is large, professional, important. I see Dexter in the audience. Didn't expect that. We make eye contact. Brief. He looks away. First, I give my talk about leadership, about observation, about patience, about evidence, over authority. I don't mention Dexter by name. Don't need to. The lessons are clear without personalizing them. After, people ask questions. One person asks, "What do you do when someone in authority is making mistakes?" I answer honestly. Document, observe, build your case, then act with evidence, not emotion. What if they have more power than you? Power is temporary. Truth is permanent. Dexter leaves midway through Q&A. Can't handle hearing the truth about his failures, even indirectly. I don't watch him go. Don't care. He's not my concern anymore. The company is, the people are, the future is. He's just the past. A lesson learned, a mistake corrected, a threat eliminated. Nothing more. 1 year later, the company is thriving. Revenue up 20%, client retention 95%, employee satisfaction highest ever. Everything trending, right? I'm not perfect as CEO. Make mistakes, but I fix them, admit them, learn from them. That's the difference between me and Dexter. He couldn't admit mistakes, couldn't adjust, couldn't learn. His ego wouldn't allow it. Mine does, because I know I'm not the company I serve. The company, there's a difference. I think about the moment Dexter said, "You're not a good fit." How certain he was, how wrong he was. The real truth is simple. He wasn't a good fit for the company my father built, for the values we hold, for the culture we need. I was always a good fit. I just needed to prove it. Not to Dexter, to myself, to the team, to the company. And I did. By observing, by listening, by caring about what really matters. Not speed, but quality. Not authority, but service. Not ego, but truth. My father would be proud, I think, not because I own the company, but because I'm protecting what he built, nurturing what he started, growing what he believed in. That's real leadership, not firing people who question you, but listening to why they question and learning from it. Dexter said I wasn't a good fit. Then I revealed I'm the majority owner. The look on his face was priceless, but better than that was proving he was wrong, not just about my fit, but about everything that matters. In leadership, in business, in life, truth wins always, eventually, completely. And I'm living proof.